Hi, Manar here, life coach and hypnotherapist, and I'm gonna read some relationship problems from Reddit and reply to them, and hopefully give a decent advice. Okay, my husband, 36M, male, blindsided me, 40 female, and left suddenly. So my husband 36 male and I 40 female. Okay, 4 years difference here. Could be relevant, maybe not. Have been together for 5 years, and in those years of marriage has been amazing. In those years, okay. So people sometimes type in either extra words or forget words, so it's okay. Of course, there are moments where we bicker, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I was very happily married and thought my marriage was rock solid. We've been through, through, there's an R there, lady. We've been through challenging times, but always weathered anything that came our way. This December, I felt like we were in a good place and there was no drama at all. Okay. At all, when on December 23rd, I noticed a funny tone in my husband's voice when I asked him a question. So I asked him if he was a light, and he tells me he wants to move out. Like, what? Yeah, that's how I felt. She literally writes, like, what? That's how I feel as well. Um, just hours before, we are cuddling in bed and being playful, and this came out of nowhere. He cheating. So obviously, I had a meltdown because I was blindsided. Everyone was. Um, so fast forward through Christmas, and I barely make it through the holidays as I need to pretend everything is okay for everyone as I need to pretend it, okay? I ended up in the hospital multiple times, having massive panic attacks and heart issues. I was unable to eat, drink, or sleep. It's like I'm not even in my body anymore and I'm living someone else's life. I'm not someone who has ever had panic attacks. On December 27, he moved out. I feel like maybe their relationship was like um kind of calm in their work, because like the in the beginning when she was like no drama, and all of a sudden, so maybe you guys had like one of them silent marriages, maybe. Let's see. On December 27th, he moves out into a room he rented in a shared house. I did all I could to treat him with grace and love, as I really didn't want him to go, but decided if he felt with me in anger, but if he left with me in anger, it would be harder for him to feel like he could come back if I wanted to. Lady, so you suppressed your emotions? What happened? I wanna. Okay, I helped him pack, oh sweetie, and bought and washed his new bedding because I love him, and I'm apparently pathetic. Did he tell you that? Like, why are you saying this? And apparently, someone told you this. Someone told you that you're pathetic. And if he did, then that's a huge red flag. Does he usually give you the silent treatment? It's my guess. I could be wrong. Let's keep reading. We ended up having amazing sex the day before he left too. The sounds. Okay. Let's keep reading. I do have some assumptions in my head. I feel like he gives her the silent treatment a lot, and it usually works. He said my being so loving and kind about it made him feel bad, which wasn't my intention. I just love him so much and could see he's got something going on. Oh, how dare you treat him so well? He felt bad. We've spoken via text and on the phone, and he's indicated to me that it has nothing to do with me and that he loves me, but that due to life stress, he's lost the romantic love for me. How many years you been together? You said 5 years, right? Okay. So he said he'd like to try and date me to see if we can rekindle, but then the next day he sounds less interested. Yes, girl, he playing you. He's playing you. He's definitely playing you. Losing the romantic love for you all of a sudden, and then like he's, oh, let me date you. That's breadcrumbing. He's like he wants you in his life, but he's like, he's a narcissist. I'm sorry, he's a narcissist. This is the hot and cold, and this is actually something I heard in narcissistic relationships. Let's try and date. You're fucking married, aren't you? Yeah. You're fucking, and you know what's gonna happen when you do actually date him? He's gonna be like, "Ah, you're not my type." Believe me. Believe me. Oh man, I've seen this many times before. I've really seen this. Anyway, so he's back and forth and all over the place, duh, yeah, which makes it even more torturous for me. All of this came, this is narcissistic they're like, they make it torturous for you, so like whatever they give you, they'll be like, yes, give me that breadcrumb, I'm super hungry. MFs. All of this came about after he came home from a trip in England for a funeral. I thought maybe he had an affair. That's what I think too. Or was having one, but I'm 99% sure he isn't. Why? Why are you sure he isn't? He has a lot of work stress, and my teenage son has been a huge pain in the ass, and I know a lot of stress comes from him. So what does he do? Is he really that involved in your teenage son problems or anything? Like, why that funeral is the turning point? Because the stress and the teenage son existed before the funeral as well, but something happened in the funeral that made it a turning point. The son has always been there. He's been a teenager for some time, I assume, and the work stress has been there for some time as well, right? So nothing new here except that funeral. My husband has always been so loving and amazing with me. Really, girl? Remember, I want you to actually get a paper and pen and remember all of the times that he really wooed you. If I said that, like, and after each time that he would do something nice, how many awful things happened. Get a paper and pen and do that. A very kind person, but since he told me he was leaving, he's shown me this side of him that is cruel, icy, and I have no. He's discarding you. He's discarding you. That's why you saying I have no idea what to make out of it. I'm telling you, he's discarding you. He probably found another lady already in that funeral. He's not being himself at all unless 5 years were an act and this is who he really is. I honestly believe that as well, unfortunately. Look, I've been there, and I've seen a lot of clients who've been through that as well. So I'm completely devastated and left with no closure or any idea of what is going to happen. He didn't want to separate yet, as he's deciding if he wants me, I guess. I'm sorry, who the F he thinks he is? Girl, what's happening with your self-esteem? Wake the up. Wake up. He's deciding if he wants you. Where's your self-esteem? He doesn't want to talk for a month so he can sort his thoughts out. And then I'm gonna tell you. Okay, let me stop reading. I feel like I've read enough, girl. I've read enough. Here's what's gonna happen, okay? You're going to stop talking for a month and he's gonna text you after that. Once you actually be like, okay, let's not talk for a month, he's gonna be like, oh, she actually believe that? Like, what is she, does she really want to leave me? No, nobody leaves me. So he's gonna like hoover you, right? He's gonna keep on texting you. And once he feels like you're emotional, he's gonna be cold and he's gonna be icy and he's gonna be like, oh, this is for the best and blah blah blah. So you stop talking with him, so he comes in again and he's gonna play that Tom and Jerry thing with you until, I don't know, like until your self-esteem really wakes the F up and you'll be like, F off, and you really remember that he hasn't done as much for you as you done for him, and you really remember that he's always probably been this way. Because look, I don't believe that nobody changes like this. I don't believe that. I believe that we're the same. People always show you signs. How was he in the beginning with you? I'm sure that there were signs in the beginning that you ignored. Because this doesn't just happen like that. When you say he's been calm and like loving, not calm, he's been loving and amazing and stuff. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? It feels to me that he's been like giving you the love bombing treatment for some time, and you've been just living off of that. When something bad happens, you just like give yourself a hint of a memory from the past. Because this to me sounds narcissistic behavior, typical narcissistic behavior. Okay. Should I read the rest? I'd love some advice. I've managed to give him all the power, as I was so heartbroken. I was doing all I could to try to. This actually triggered me because I've seen a lot of women go through this, and it sucks. I could to try to bring him home, like writing open me when letters, because I was worried about him on his own, because clearly something is up with him. He's a covert narcissist. He's like, I already know which type of narcissist that is. There's clearly something wrong with him. He's been probably always being the victim in your life, and like making you worry about him even if you separate. He's still gonna get supply from you even after separating. Oh my god, this is awful. But that probably didn't help and made me look desperate. I'm just a sentimental person and I go all out for the person. I could see that. I love, and it felt like it was the only way I could fight for him without being there. He's apparently felt he's apparently felt like this for months and didn't say a word to me. So good we could fix it. It's probably a typo. He also won't see a marriage counselor. I've shifted from deep because he's already decided. He's already decided that he doesn't want you, but he also knows that he can get supply from you after separating. So that's why he'd be like, oh, let's date, then gives you the silent treatment, then talks, and then blah blah, because he already decided, but he hasn't maybe settled his stuff yet with the other lady that he met in the funeral. Shifted from a deep grief to a hint of anger now. Of course, yeah, get angry. Do feel angry. I'm frustrated. Yes, girl, I'm frustrated. Because I don't deserve any of the. You don't. You've been his wife for 5 years and been taking care of probably a lot of work as well, and the son, and maybe taking care of him. Like, you've been his mama for a long time. He's definitely a covert narcissist. Okay, maybe 90%. I don't really, I just read the post, but this is like all covert. This screams covert narcissist. Victimhood, complaining all the time. Nothing works for me. Oh, everything makes me stressed. If I sneeze, oh my god, I'm gonna sit and like sleep for a week if I sneeze. Like, he's such a victim, and you've been his mama as well. I've shifted from a deep grief to frustration. Yes, get frustrated, get angry. You should be angry. He could have handled things in a much more compassionate and kind way. No, he couldn't. He doesn't have the capacity for that. Still, I want him back. I meant my wedding vows when I said them. Yeah, girl, you meant that, but it doesn't mean that they will always be. They're not like a sword on your neck. They're just words. They're just, look, I know vows mean a lot, but everything changes. The day and night change, life changes, the weather changes, people die, change happens. And giving up something that doesn't work is courage. You don't be like, oh, my vows, I've been now giving up my vows. Yes, you're giving them up. Yes, because you're brave. You're brave enough to get up and say, this ain't working for me. I deserve better. Oh, F it. I wanted to say, but you know what I mean, right? Anyway.